It has literally been months since the release of new GPUs, and not only are a ton of them not even available, but those that are well over MSRP. And honestly, I think everybody is gaslighting you when it comes to the pricing and the availability of these new GPUs. Let's talk about it.
Before that, this video is brought to you by VIPCDKdeals.com. CDK Deals is a website dedicated to getting you the best prices on games and software, and right now you can get a Windows 10 Pro OEM key for an insanely low price. Just find the best price and apply my special discount code GPC20 for an additional 30% off. You can also check out securely with PayPal, and once the payment is cleared, you should get access to the code both in your account as well as in your email. In order to activate the new copy of Windows 10, just search Activate under Windows and type in your key. So if you want to learn more, be sure to click the link in the description below.
Alright, so first things first, yes, I'm a little sick, hopefully I don't sound terrible, but let's get into what we actually want to talk about, and that's GPU pricing and availability, because the RTX 5090, as the worst example, was actually released months ago at this point, and yeah, you basically can't buy it at all. If you want to buy it, it's going to be many thousands of dollars. I mean, it's supposed to have an MSRP of $2,000, and I'll be honest with you guys, at $2,000, it's already extremely pricey and very hard to justify for a lot of people. Though I guess, to be fair, it is the same price to performance as the 4090, so if you're interested in that card, you're probably interested in the 5090, but you're probably not interested in the 5090 above $2,000, especially not for $5,000, $6,000, or $7,000 over on eBay. That is absolutely absurd, and you might have been waiting on AMD to save the day with their brand new RX 9000 series GPUs, as they are coming in at a much lower MSRP than Nvidia, and if they could stay in stock at MSRP, they would actually be a pretty good alternative. And to give AMD credit, I did actually have a chance, a small chance, a very small window, but there was a chance to buy a 9070 XT at MSRP on release. Can't be said for the RTX 50 series in my experience thus far. So it seems like the availability and pricing of the 9000 series is a bit better, but if you were waiting for them to save the day, well, that hasn't really happened. You also really can't find the 9000 series for less than roughly $700. That is way higher than the $599 MSRP that it was supposed to be. And both these companies are telling you that yes, they are working hard on supply, and you should expect the pricing and availability to get better soon. But I have heard this tale time and time again, and it's been months now, and we still cannot get the 50 series, especially at reasonable prices, without having to basically have stock trackers. And this has happened generation after generation. They create what appears to be basically a fake MSRP. It seems like, at least in my opinion, that I don't know if this is purposeful or not, but they are not creating enough supply. And at this point, they've got to know that they're not creating enough, and then they allow the demand to far outstrip supply, thereby creating effectively a way higher price for their products, which then becomes an excuse to raise prices the next generation. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think there's really any incentive for them to change their ways, as not only does this create FOMO and people rushing out to try and purchase a product that in some cases they might not have even purchased, such as if you couldn't get a 5090, I heard stories of people buying a 5080 just to get something on release, and that's something they wouldn't have done otherwise if there wasn't this FOMO. And then on top of that, well, inflation is getting kind of out of control in the US, and this only leads to higher prices for goods and services. All these companies that make GPUs, they know this, and so if they create an MSRP, especially when it comes to retailers and distributors, this can be a real problem for them when the prices of other goods and services related to creating that graphics card also go up. So listen, there's no incentive for them to create a really low MSRP and then stick to that for the entire generation. We're about to enter a period very likely in the US where inflation's going to get out of control because, well, the debt is getting out of control and unmanageable. Thereby, they're going to have to inflate the dollar to try and inflate that debt away at some point in time. And the rest of the world is also somewhat reliant upon the US dollar, which means no matter where you are in the world, this inflation is going to affect products such as GPUs, which again leads to there being no incentive for these companies to have an MSRP that is very good and stick to it. I mean, take a look at someone like Asus. They have raised the price of the 5090. I think their top model is well over $3,000 now because they're just trying to cash in before stuff like tariffs or inflation get too bad, and it's just going to be punishing us as the buyer. And it seems like there really is no interest in actually meeting demand at a reasonable price, as nobody benefits from that outside of the buyer, which would be us. So what do we do about this whole pricing and supply situation? Well, there's two things you can do. The first thing that you can do is put in the comments below if you as a customer are not happy with the whole supply and pricing situation respectfully, so they actually listen to you. Because if it's not respectful, you're not gonna listen. I will let you guys know that. You catch more flies with honey if you get what I'm saying. And also be sure to let them know on places like Twitter and stuff like that. Share this video to get that out there, that hey, as a buyer, you are really unhappy with the way that things are going from both Nvidia as well as AMD when it comes to the supply and pricing situation, especially at launch. But it seems like it goes on for years at this point, which is totally unacceptable as a buyer to feel like you're getting bait and switched every single generation. And then of course also the best thing we can do is if it's over MSRP, just don't buy it. Now, I know that's easy to say. If you need a graphics card, I mean, you can go to the used market. There is a bit of uncertainty there when it comes to warranties and stuff, so make sure to do your due diligence. If you are buying something secondhand, make sure that it is covered under warranty still. However, if you absolutely must buy a graphics card and you do want it to be new, hey, I totally get that. I'm not going to stop you. But if you do feel strongly that you're not getting a good deal from these companies, then yeah, I would say wait it out until something is available within your price range at MSRP, and do not reward the companies that try and take advantage of you. For example, if one company is charging way over MSRP when compared to the others, then be sure to not give them your money, as money definitely speaks volumes in this type of industry. But yeah, that's pretty much the situation. For many generations, we've been what feels like getting bait and switched by many different companies when it comes to pricing and availability, and I really want to see this improve going into the future, as it is totally unacceptable in basically any other industry for you to come out with effectively fake pricing and paper launches that lead to nobody being happy for months on end. But hey, that's just what I think. Do you think that this situation is acceptable or not? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.
If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to drop a like. Every time you do so, AMD and Nvidia release new GPUs. Also, if you want to see more, check out one of these related videos. You won't be disappointed.